I love talking with people from around the world because they give us a really unique perspective of what can happen and how to look at business slightly different than you normally would. And today on the podcast, I've got a great guest all the way from Russia who's currently in Israel, Olga Andrienko from SEMRush. And she's been helping build the social media platform for them for the last couple of years. And she's been really seeing some fantastic results. And what it really comes down to is how you can actually see the difference. And this is something I didn't actually realize. It didn't click for me before, but there's a difference between audience and community. And she actually goes into some great detail in terms of how that actually is, you can use that to put a proper social programs together. And we talk about digital strategy in terms of putting the pieces together with social media, how to do that, how to create conversations, right? We talk about conversations, but yet do we actually know what we're talking about? So we kind of go into a lot of depth for that. And how to set up an event. One of the key things that we always want to do is how do we actually get people to come to our our Twitter chat, our Facebook Live, you name it. So we're going to go into those details as well. So coming up soon, Olga Andrienko from SEMRush.
Overwhelmed with online or just wanting to learn more about how you can build a successful business amidst all of the self-appointed gurus, big buzzwords and empty promises? The Breaking Digital podcast by Doyle Bueller tells you exactly what smart entrepreneurs need to know to escape the clutter, get clear of the confusion, and past the bullshit of building and growing a successful business online. It's about digital leadership and delivering the best value for your business online to your audience. Now, here's your host and author of the book on digital leadership and online marketing, The Digital Delusion, Doyle Bueller.
So welcome, Olga. How are you today?
Thank you much for inviting me. Glad to be here. I'm great talking to you from Israel, Tel Aviv, and it's sunny, great weather here.
Excellent. Good to hear. And what are the beaches like in Tel Aviv? The nice parts.
Not seeing that much of the beaches because I'm working, so
okay.
I wish I was a lot more suntanned by this time.
Yeah, cool. So
Getting some of it.
you come from all the way from St. Petersburg.
Yeah. Originally from Russia, St. Petersburg, and spending a month in Tel Aviv now.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. That's quite a change then.
Yeah, quite a change because that's like 16 degrees Celsius and rain back home, and here it's like 32 and sunny, really nice. And then if you hear something in the background, that's the authentic sound of Tel Aviv right in my microphone.
Excellent. And so you work with SEMRush then. Tell me a bit about that.
I've been with SEMRush for 2.5 years already, even more. And basically, I was involved mainly in social media, and I'm still. But now I also have the challenge of working with 20 and more countries and localizing our brand there. So that's where the social media kind of blends in with all other marketing activities that we do. And that was a completely new challenge that I faced like a year ago. So it's fun all the way. It's like every day of it was fun.
Mm. And so you're the head of social media then for SEMRush, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yes, head of social media.
Do you kind of develop the strategy or a lot of the implementation, or how do you set things up?
I like the hand. I like to be the one actually that also is out there, but and then posting, so being behind the profile. But I do the strategy and I develop a voice. So I was actually, to be honest, when I joined the SEMrush team, they didn't know what they were getting because for them, social media was just posting in the pages and like monitoring the page basically. And to me, that's more of a like relationship marketing tool. And so I use social media really well with the first word social. So I really go out there and I talk to people, and that's actually was like a really game changer. So I was like the first one who sort of started our social media activity and the way it looks now. And then it kind of, so it was initially my voice and my vision, and we carry on with that now. Although because we localize a lot, then it started to be different because we have local German profiles in German, in French, in Italian, and Spanish, and they are all different and depending on. So some are more open, like German ones are more strict because that's what the market wants them to be. And yeah, it's different a bit now.
Yeah, so in terms of like the international flavor, like SEMrush obviously covers a lot of those areas. How did you adapt and how did you adjust to the different languages?
At first, when I joined, I just well, I know two languages. It's Russian and English, and also I've studied a bit. Like I studied Finnish for 10 years, and also Spanish a bit, but I wasn't fluent. And then I suddenly faced all these mentions in different languages, and all questions in different languages. So first thing that I did, and I suggest like every company do, is come up with phrases like in English if they're English speakers. Um, that like kind of a template phrases. So thank you so much for reaching out, or like thank you, great to hear. If you don't want to know more, then not just like only like or send us an email. And then so these phrases that your customer support gets every day. And then just well, if it's Twitter, you have to fit in 100 characters or less, because then there is a Twitter handle. And so what I did is that I came up with a list of these phrases, and then I asked my colleagues, which were in sales or in some other departments, to translate them in primary languages for me. So that was Spanish, French, Italian, and from that I kind of was able to to start the conversations or even respond at least a tiny bit to people in their native language, and then take it like away from social and to the for example to customer support who were already speaking those languages. Or well, it's basically um, yeah, that's the first thing I did, and I really recommend this.
Mm. Fantastic. And SEMrush, meaning search engine marketing, it sounds like, and from what I've seen, sort of the evolution of the company, it took a while to bring in that social media as well and sort of leverage it properly. Do you agree? Do you feel that you're making good progress?
I'd say that well, every company that is on our market, they excel in some well, they have part of the market. For example, for SimilarWeb, it's PR. For Moaz, it's like content marketing, and we are the ones who actually probably our strongest side is social media. So we're really building community, and we're celebrating the knowledge of influencers on our market, and we really care. So and then we just like social media. I saw that as a channel that like we really can leverage that. And, we can contact each and every one person through I use Twitter and Google Plus for that, because I really can tag people there, and I can communicate directly to person from a brand. On Facebook you're not able to do that.
Mm.
And so I would say that it paid off like really big time, and in really short period of time. We I was investing like all of my working time social for 1 year, and then we decided to launch this online events on Twitter chats, and in half a year after that, our community looked different. Well, actually, we had a community after that, because before it was just an audience. So the difference between audience and the community is that the audience is people, and they're all listening to you, and the community is where you give people space to talk and know each other better and build communication connections based on like on your ground. but still like not really directed to you. So they listen to each other more than to you.
So a community, by your definition, is then sort of people are communicating with each other, whereas with an audience, you're kind of presenting.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. No, that's interesting. I've never sort of heard it
Yes.
expressed
Yes.
that
That's
way.
yeah. That's why how I see that. So that's like it's not any, in any way scientific. That's what I saw, and that direction that I wanted to go personally. Because initially, well, it's like really I was faced with every social media marketer actually, and every marketer is faced now with two challenges. It's like being an expert in the field that they're working in. It's like being okay. I'm head of social. I have to know social. But on top of this, I have to know the market that my company works in. So I had to know the search marketing, like SEO, and I didn't. By the time that I joined the SEMRush, and still I'm kind of like I'm not practicing SEO. And so what I thought is that I have to listen to other people because then I would know a lot more, and that's what it came from. And I just wanted to also I listened, like I genuinely listened, and then I was like, interested in what other people think. And I'm always is because when I listen, I learn, and then when I talk, I don't. So it's it's yeah, it just comes from that, I think.
Yeah, no, fantastic. And so you've run a number of events, and if I might say, like I've participated in a few of them, and I've really enjoyed them because they have been
Thank you.
very social and sort of very engaging. Is that sort of a long-term strategy for you?
Yeah, well, with online events, that's yeah, we try to now create something new because obviously people get tired of the same formats, and also I do get tired of the same formats, and it changes with us. So the team changes, and then the strategy changes, but we still do them, and I see that we will keep doing that, but. Well, for example, Twitter chats they became like a little bit of mainstream now. When we started, that they weren't so much, and there are a lot of companies doing Twitter chats, but we hear that ours is like one of the most well active ones, which is great feedback. But I see that people are just they can go to so many places to have a conversation. So now it's also tougher, and we're moving more to the point where we try to combine and integrate social media with all other activities. It won't be like standalone. At one point in a buyer's journey, and like every customer and like every prospect. So like let's say we go to conferences and we make sure that our back office team and team the conference they work closely together to bring all the experience online. And we also work with email so that we have these buttons in the emails. Also work with content closely and with webinars.
So, in terms of sort of the technical aspect, Olga, like a company like SEMRush is brilliant at, sort of that search side, that sort of thing. And it's not really, fundamentally involved with social because if you look at it from an industry perspective, you have the silo of social and you have the silo of search marketing and SEO and all that kind of stuff. And so how did you again sort of bridge that gap to say, well, yes, you are a technical company, but yet we can use social to grow the business?
I'd say that actually, because we market to marketers and marketers tend to hang out on social media, that was also something that really like was well that we had to be there, and because everyone that is in our industry is in social media, and now search goes great with social, so it wasn't really hard to find people, and actually people like direct connections, and that's why I used Twitter and Google Plus to tag and to address people there personally, and it's it's been a great journey ever since, because yeah, it just all our community is and all our audience, and even potential one, isn't social, and it's proved it has proved to be the most effective and actually fastest working channel in terms of like inbound marketing for us.
Okay. And so where do you see things going from here with what you do?
Because well, now basically we try to save time also, because well, social, it's just you can be 24/7 there, and it won't be wise. It's like you need a strategy, and unless you don't, it's like a really a social club, and um, in all other activities that we do. I participate in industry events, like in conferences. We do webinars, and we have a PR team. We have we put up content. So what we try to do is try to integrate social media with all these activities and conferences and webinars especially. And with conferences, we try to expose the brand like online, and also combine this offline and online experiences that we have during the conference. And with webinars, it's kind of the promotion, then online support and post promotion, which really helps also the video content shine.
And so do you feel that you're delivering like a return on investment as well? And how do you measure your results?
The social media results or just marketing results
Well,
in general?
marketing, at the end of the day, how many new clients
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
bring in kind of thing?
Well, we just now, like analytics team has released sequences of interactions that a customer has well, with us on his buyer's journey, and we actually saw that people that like that interacted, like that went on a webinar, or that read our blog and then also interacted with us on social, they have the higher like, well, the conversion rates. So actually, so we really saw that the marketing, like the inbound marketing part that we have, like with that, especially the webinars, like people are spending, like they're willing to spend 1 hour of time for us, like on us, and if they have, like if they feel that this time, like time was spent valuably, then they're a lot likely to subscribe with us faster and actually turn into the paid client. So that's like the sequences, like it's the most important thing for any company to craft this, to analyze and to see this bias journey and where people come from. And so if you see that the activities that you have, that you actually don't really, you're not able to measure directly, but you see that they take part in the buyer's journey and they make a difference, then it's kind of a proof that you're in the right direction.
Mhm. Yeah, no, that's good. And so can you sort of shed some light on how did you guys create your buyer's journey? Like any specific ideas that you used?
That's our analytics team,
Mm.
and I think, well, that's magic to me. So that's that
Okay.
all. That's definitely, you need to. I think they use. I might be mistaken, but we definitely use BigQuery. We don't rely on Google Analytics for
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
and so we use BigQuery, and then all data is exposed to us as marketers in Tableau.
Hmm.
And so they're using pretty serious stuff to mine the data. And I think that if companies don't really have the resources in-house, then it would be really worth inviting someone and just for one time just like paying big money, but still just doing this research, and then it would be a really great guide for your marketing team to like to know where to head to.
Yeah. So, well, analytics is one side of the equation, but what about sort of more of the softer marketing stuff, like what could you see, what kind of journey could you see your your audience and your community taking to kind of get to the conversion side of things?
We actually, well, what we do, like all our marketing efforts, at the end, they're all built around influencers in our field, and we're really friends with them. So we're not faking it, and this is the most important part. So it's like we really care and we really love people that we work with, and at the end, like we're approaching them with the question like, how do we help you? And then it's just like we build real relationships, like really time consuming, but we build them on social media. We invite them to guest vlog and expose them to our audience, like being from the webinars, for example. And then also we meet them at conferences, and then at the end of the day, it's when they start using our product, and then and also you have to you have to have something, the product is valuable, and they start referring and they started telling well, about us to their audience. And this was something that this is like a top of the funnel thing. So that's where like people, okay, they heard the name somewhere, and then they tap it in search, and actually a lot of it, like a lot of we get more, I think, well, we have organic traffic and paid traffic. So, and then we also see some of them click on ads, some click on organic, and then from that they kind of interact with the site, and a lot of them register. And when they register, they don't necessarily become a paid client right away. So we have a free plan, and so they use this free plan. If they like what they see, then they just kind of might stay even as a free user. And from there, they subscribe to the email, and then your interface and posts and new webinars, so they have a chance to read the content that we have, and at the same time we kind of send them emails, and so obviously this already converts them a bit more, and
Yeah, so
also
it's little
like
by
during the
little.
webinar. Yes. So we don't have like really this we haven't found this this like excellent sequence. Then we see like, okay, for sure this is the closing bit. So this hasn't happened. This is always, and for different markets that's different.
Yeah.
So
And
with the social media, I was really yeah, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
So for the UK, I checked the sequence and I saw that actually the best conversion rates include social channel in them. And I was happy to see that, because social means Twitter chat most of the time for UK, because it's like really convenient time for UK, and it's really heavily targeted for UK, and we invite a lot of people to participate there. So basically, that was the proof that this works, because if we see that the people who participate in the Twitter chat and interact with us on social, they are like they have the we run the bigger chance with them than with the others who don't.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Do you find that do your competitors have a similar strategy, or how are you sort of differentiating yourself amongst your competitors?
I think, well, with our market, it's really great that you actually see, like, it's it at the end of the day, it all depends on the people's strengths inside the company, and with we all have different strengths and different approaches with for example, well, Moz are the best like education company on our market with White Friday and with their blog. It's like they're really doing a great job. And with us, it's like we're conversational. So we're like, I think we respond faster than anyone else in the market. I hope that we are. That's what I check, and looks like we do, and we have local social media. So we excel in social SEMRush, which is the kind of not a direct competitor but still on the market. They have a great PR, and they're in business media and all newspapers. If they check the traffic, they're likely to check the website's traffic from SEMRush. So it's we differ, and because people in the company are different, then we just choose the best channel we work in depending on our strengths. And ours is community building and social media. So it's they are all in social, but because resources are different and strengths are different, they don't have the similar strategy.
Okay, yeah, and nor should they. But it's nice to see how you're sort of excelling and recognizing the fact that, hey, we can't be everything to everybody, and then that's sort of where your competitors fill those gaps as well. You talked a lot about an event, like a Twitter chat or that sort of thing. Well, what would you recommend sort of the best way of introducing that to, our listeners, audience and building their community? How would you create an event in your mind that's really going to get some good visibility, some good interaction, and that sort of thing?
I'd say first, people should think where the audience is. That's kind of obvious, but the second, not really not that obvious thing would be to think what your team is good at. And so, if they're good in video content, then I would say that you have to go for online video event.
So find the channel that
That's like
fits.
something charismatic.
Yeah. So find the
Yes,
channel
yes,
that
yes.
works
Because
with yours. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Because for me, it was like I was not a speaker. Well, I have good English, but I was not like really sure that SEO would really fit in a video content. And that's why I thought, okay, the written content, like when I write, like nobody would ever think that it's not a native speaker. And so I thought, okay, then Twitter and then also the chat is the right fit for me, because I will, and also I'm able to process in a really like short time. So that's where it was really great fit with a lot of tweets coming in, and then the written content, and then I was able to craft the tweets, like for example, or questions beforehand, and so it was just a great fit for me and my team. And then if you're a native speaker and then you're charismatic, and then for example, that would be like a small business owner who want to build his own personal brand along with the company he's running. So I would say that like jump on on Zoom.us or Hangouts or any platform, invite people that are like famous in the audience, and just have a genuine discussion, and just send a newsletter like inviting your audience to watch that. And that would be like, then you after that you're able to transcribe it and put it as a written content on your blog, or you can just create the visuals with the best quotes that people said. So you can do a lot of content from that. But initially I would say that it would be a great thing for some charismatic experienced um, leader, like, or is the founder of the company. But I wasn't that. So for me, it was just it was written content and Twitter, and I just feel that apply to your strengths and find the right channel.
Yeah,
That's
no, for sure.
the main outcome.
And so how am I doing then, Olga?
I actually think that you're doing a great job, because well, you did the webinars for us, so you excel in different mediums, and that's great. That's not what like everyone has, and because you've written a book, which is this tremendous amount of work, and then it means that you're actually great with words, like with written content, and also at the same time you do the webinars and you run a podcast, so you're also great with the audio, and that's not what everyone is great at, and so you're in a real minority, and that's why you're successful.
Okay. Thank you. You're making me blush. So, so what do you think the sort of the future of social media? Like it's um the technology changes a lot, like with Snapchat and Instagram videos and Facebook Live and all that kind of stuff. What is and then the failure of, what was it, Blab failed this week, or they shut down this week.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts in terms of what's a solid strategy, and without worrying about the glitter and the sparkly stuff, what's a good strategy for social media?
Well, it's in terms of like in general that,
Yeah,
well,
in
social media,
general.
it just the platforms change, but the fact that people want to interact with each other, that it never changes. And so it just how you have to know your audience like best, and see what they're going, and then also kind of predict where they will be going. But I would say that with a really hands-on experience, that should be videos and visuals, because I have my attention span is so small now. It's you have like 2 seconds or 3 seconds of my time. That's all I can, or even less. That's what I spend on each update, and that's that's what brands and companies should take into account, that I won't be able to read, like, you don't have even like minute of my time.
Mhm.
It's less. And then that's why the mediums that you put out there to attract people, and then just to prove that you're credible and they have to listen to you, that should be short videos and images. And it's that's what you see that every social media platform is going for. It's more place for the videos, and Facebook with its Facebook Live, that's like a great example of it.
Yeah, so keeping the message short and sweet,
Yes.
because we don't have a lot of time. Um, and you're kind of not becoming the distraction, but you're trying not to be a distraction either.
Yeah, yeah. And well, then be prepared to invest money in social. This
Mm.
is something like everyone, well, some companies that really believe that they can, this is the cheap channel. But I would say that, well, it can be, but it would cost you in working hours. So in order to save in the working hours, and then just to make your team work less, um, on social, and to do something like more of an integrational, like, marketing mix. But I would say that be prepared to spend the budgets, because social media platforms, they want you and they expect you to pay for their audience that they built for you.
Yeah, we shouldn't expect a free ride
Yeah.
anymore, at least.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for some social medias to make money, that's another story.
Yeah. The exit strategy is a question
Yeah,
now for, well, but yeah.
no.
But Blab, actually, I would say that Blab like died long ago.
Mm,
I was there. I was in love with it. I
mm.
was really in love with it. But then it just they kept changing, and then the changes were not for the better. And you just can see the platform. You have to test everything, but you just, the gut feeling is always there. It's like you feel that is either it's working for you or it stopped working for you. We
Yeah.
tested like 3 blabs, like what, and then like 3 unsuccessful blabs, or something that we just thought, okay, this is not worth our time, and then we just moved on.
Yeah. So you have to, that's a good lesson too, to listen to your audience, because if your audience is saying these things aren't working, then and
Yeah.
they take them out, or they don't, or they add things that sort of are not any better, then you're kind of still in that same conundrum.
Of course. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. All right. No, well, cool. Well, I just want to wrap up then, Olga. It's been a fantastic conversation, learning a lot about social media and how you guys are putting it together, and it sounds like it's really, really working well. So, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And so, how can we find you online?
So online, it's well, everywhere, like Olga Andrienko, and the best channels to find me would be Facebook or Twitter. actually, and then I'm like really active on both. And yeah, and basically also if you follow SEMRush on Twitter, for example, then I will be the one that I will be checking updates. Not well, we have customer support answering the questions about the tool set, but other than that, I'm there following and checking the updates.
All right. No, that's fantastic. And as well, we can also, I'll actually have some of those links to the Twitter profiles and that sort of thing on the website, thedigitaldelusion.com/podcast. So you'll be able to find those there, as well as transcripts and the audio recording as well. So perfect. So thank you so much, Olga, once again. I really appreciate your time and your insights into social media marketing. So thank you
for having me. It's been a pleasure.
You're very, very welcome.
Thank you very much for listening to Breaking Digital, the podcast for smart entrepreneurs wanting to become true digital leaders in their industry and to own online. If you have any comments on the program, please feel free to connect on Twitter @DoyleBuehler with the hashtag #OwnOnline. I would really appreciate it if you could share this podcast with your network, as I'm sure they will get some value from it for building their successful business online as well. You can find the resources that we talked about, as well as the transcript and full podcast for download on thedigitaldelusion.com/podcast or on iTunes or on SoundCloud. I'm Doyle Buehler, and I will see you online.
Thank you for listening to Breaking Digital with Doyle Buehler. While he goes and makes a sandwich, you can find all of the notes, links, and details on this podcast by visiting thedigitaldelusion.com/podcast. Go on and click that now. www.thedigitaldelusion.com/podcast. I'll definitely click that. If you'd like a free copy of the book, The Digital Delusion, How to Overcome the Misguidance and Misinformation Online, just send an email to doyle@thedigitaldelusion.com. See you online.